Lauren, can I record? Oh,
Oh, I already got it. So awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome today to our Momtreprenuer Call. Super excited to be launching these calls. We did our first call last week. And my name's Lauren Slocum Lahav. I'm a national marketing director with Juice Plus Companies, and very honored that we have so many people on the line. We have business around the world, and nothing is better. I got to tell you, nothing is better than seeing your friends find their passion. And I think that, as moms, we are so making sure that our kids find their passion. And my whole passion, once again, is helping people find their passion, as well as helping my kids discover that entrepreneur within them. And my son, one of my sons, he actually works a business with me. He has a team around the world, 20 years old, and very close to being a national marketing director as part of this. So a little bit about our company. So if you are not muted, if you could please mute your lines, we'd appreciate it. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about our company. The company was created about 45 years ago by a man named Jay Martin. Jay Martin started this company and started in the smoke detectors, because 45 years ago, the number one thing that people were dying of was in-home fires. So they'd fall asleep with a cigarette or the radiator would be on. So it started as a sales company. Then in the late 80s, they started to notice what were the challenges that were happening to people. And it was air and water, the cleanliness of our air and water. And that's actually how the company started, with the very first carbon water filter and one of the very first HEPA air filters. And if you think about it today, you can't buy a house without an air filter or water filter or a smoke detector. The company is very mission driven. And what I love is that I can, once again, inspire healthy living around the world, but also help people kind of find their identity. I think as moms, we get so locked into our roles as moms that we forget really who we are at our core of being women. And what I found with regards to being part of this Momtrepreneur movement, if you would, is that it's helped me really just identify more of my identity. And I've seen so many women just really step into more of their greatness. And I think that their parents, you hear over and over again, and you'll hear today, just what happened in their life, that maybe that they were doing something that was doing it because they were told to do it or thought that that was the right thing to do. And now it's kind of like rediscovering our passion and rediscovering what we really love. So I'm going to bring on three extraordinary women that are part of this movement with us. And the first is one of my dearest friends in the world. As I say, she's probably one of the smartest people that I know. And I was actually a little bit nervous to share with her because I thought, oh, she's got the answers to everything. And then I understood that it was really my responsibility to share this with her, because I know her passion for helping other moms out there, as well as helping to live a healthy mission. So I'm going to introduce my dear friend Suzanne Sadie, who's going to share with you a little bit about our products and why this is an absolute must to share with people, not just our products, but this mission as well. So Suzanne, Dr. Suzanne Sadie Phillips, welcome to the call. And I'm just going to let you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you, everyone. I'm so excited to share. As you can see, I'm at the office right now, and I carved out this time. Even though my partner left it today on a mission to Uganda to do some missionary work in dentistry, he set up his own clinic and orphanage, and so I'm running the show back here. I want to share with you why I'm so passionate about Juice Plus as a company, but also about this mission that we're on. Going backwards, I've been a dentist for 25 years, but my most important role in my life is my kids. I'm a mom, and I have three daughters, and Sarah is now almost 21, and Sophia is 17, and Serena is 14. So when Sarah was actually 12 years old, around that time is the time that Lauren actually and I were talking, and she was talking about some dentistry, because at that point in her Juice Plus business, she hadn't achieved the level where you get the full benefits yet. So she was talking about needing some dental work. So I said, come and visit me. I'd love to do your work and stay with me. And she's like, wow, would you do that? And I said, yes, I love being able to help people. I love being able to do that. It's like, who wouldn't? It's like, if you could do something for someone else, it's like, why wouldn't you? So it's like, she flew out. And of course, in true Lauren form, she brought me a gift basket with some fruit and some Juice Plus. But she kind of described what it was, but not fully. And I didn't really understand, or maybe I wasn't listening at the time. So it kind of sat in my office, and then it literally transferred to home. So within a month of that meeting, my daughter, Sarah, so what nobody knew, and I didn't share with anyone, solely because we had been dealing as a family with a crisis. So my daughter, Sarah, at the time was 12. Since she was 6 years old, she was battling an autoimmune disorder. And let me tell you, it was such a rare autoimmune disorder that it was a 3 in a million. She started falling down at the age of 6, and the doctors couldn't figure out what it was. We had to go to NIH in Bethesda, Maryland twice for 2 separate weeks because Stanford and UCSF and our local hospital couldn't figure out what it was. And so she was pumped full of every drug known to medicine for 6 years. 6 years. We were in and out of the hospital literally once or twice a month for a week at a time. Imagine what that does to a family. Imagine what that did to my 2 other kids. And you can probably imagine what it did to my marriage. It was not good. So long story short, what happened was every turn we took, every new prescription, every new treatment, they even put her on chemo for a month thinking that may help. Nothing worked. I was super hopeful because I was trained allopathically. I've been a dentist 25 years. For me, it's like there's a problem, there's an answer, there's a solution. I can fix it. That's me. I'm a MacGyver in my field. It's like, let me figure it out. I'll figure it out. If I don't know, I'm going to find somebody who does know. And here it was, my own daughter that was sick, and I couldn't help it. Like every single moment in her lifespan, I was trying to serve and nurture her, and all of a sudden I couldn't nurture her. So as imagine at that point, 6 years later, I was really shut down. I was losing hope fast. And at that moment when she was hospitalized again, they were pumping her full of drugs, full of all kinds of IVs. And then she had a bad reaction to one of them. She was put on morphine. We came home to set the stage. I mean, we were carrying her up the stairs. She was in a wheelchair. It was probably the worst moment in our lives ever. And I couldn't fix it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't help her. And I literally it was like a movie scene. I literally remember turning in my kitchen and looking at these bottles of Juice Plus and literally putting my arms up going, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. So I went to her and I said, guess what? We're going to start taking this. This is fruits and veggies in a capsule. I don't want another pill. I'm like, no, I'm going to take it too. I'm tired too. And I'm not sleeping. We're all tired. You don't have any appetite because they're pumping you full of medicine. We're all going to take this. And she's like, okay. She was just so tired of me, constantly on her about taking her meds and being, trying to eat something because she had lost her appetite at that point. She was so acidic from all the medicine. So let me tell you, that was literally Christmas time. A month later, she turned 13, January 25th. She was on so much medicine during that time. We didn't change any other protocol that she was on except for she was taking Juice Plus. Lauren happened to be at a regional meeting in Reno. I'll never forget it. And she had been on Juice Plus a little more than a year. And I literally stormed into this regional. I'm like, what the heck is this? She's off all her pain medication in a month. And so I literally was absorbed. Mitra Ray was there. I don't know. It was kind of a blur. I just remember faces, but I remember just signing up right away. I was like, okay, sign me up. I just want to sign up as a distributor so that I can be able to, share this with my daughter and order when I need to and share this with my family. And that was my intent. And so within 4 months of that signing up, literally by April of that year, Sarah was able to participate in her very first field trip ever in her life. She was able to go to Washington, D.C. Unbelievable, because she wasn't able to even walk before. She couldn't even walk up the stairs. She was actually pushing her teacher in the wheelchair because her teacher had a basketball injury. So that was the big joke, because she was the one supposed to be in the wheelchair and she was pushing her teacher. Within 2 years of that, Juice Plus, within 2 years, she was off all her medicine. Now, you know, during that time, she had to have scoliosis surgery, was a totally separate thing. But every part of her life has shifted. She's now a third year at Berkeley. She's thriving. She just moved into a new place. It's literally like a castle, and it has 100 stairs going up to it. She's like jogging up the stairs. And I'm just here to tell you, as her mother, that I would never have believed it, because I was so in my head. I was so skeptical. And even with that story, I looked back, and it wasn't until everything had shifted in our lives to be better that I looked back and went, that was the only change. That was the only change, because I could have easily stayed in my head. But that's why I'm sharing this story with you all, because it's really important not to stay in your head and not to stay in a box, because I was so in a box about what I thought could help her. And I was listening to people who I thought could heal her. And the answer was right there in front of me. It was literally right there in front of me. And so the moment, so we've been on Juice Plus ever since. During the tough times with her, I probably doubled and tripled her dosages, because, hey, it's fruits and veggies in a capsule. And it wasn't until literally, I mean, I dabbled in the business, but it wasn't until the state of healthcare had started to go down, meaning everyone knows that we're in a healthcare crisis. You know, our government can't seem to figure out, like, if Obamacare is really working, you know, who has healthcare? Is it really working? I mean, I know friends that have Obamacare, and their kids who are 5 years old have to fly to Boston from the Bay Area just to have a checkup. And it's like, what the heck is that? So we're in a state of crisis. And when I graduated dental school 25 years ago, I could work literally 3-4 days a week in my own practice and make a good income, make a really good income. I mean, you know, meaning that I could make choices for myself. Now, no way. You have to be in this profession, you have to work 6 and 7 days a week to make a good income, meaning you have to work your tail off. You're exhausted. My back, my neck, my arms were exhausted. And Lauren knows, like, I don't know how many times I've been breaking down to her, because it's like emotionally, it takes a toll on you when you're serving so many people, but you're forced to work, you know, time and a half, meaning my work days are 10 to 12 hours a day. And I was working 6 to 7 days a week. And there was more month at the end of the money, believe it or not. Because why? Because when I graduated, our overhead was 50%. And now it's 75%. So you can imagine there's this much. There's really not that much. So anyway, so bottom line is, I have now, more seriously, since in the last year, since last October, really made a commitment to sharing Juice Plus with people, with other moms, with patients, with friends, whoever will listen to me. I share with them, because it's my mission to really inspire others. It's my mission to say something to them, because I can't even tell you how many people in my life came forward after that, especially one girlfriend who, after Sarah was feeling better, she said, "Oh, how's Sarah?" And I said, "She's great." And I told her about the story that I just shared with you in a smaller version. And she said, "Oh yeah, I've been taking Juice Plus for years." And I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, why didn't you share? You know, at the moment I didn't say anything because I was so stunned that she wouldn't have shared it with me. But later I did ask her, and she said, "You know what, Suzanne, I wouldn't have even thought that it would help." So that's the thing, is many of us get so stuck in our head. We need to really put our hands, literally take your hands right now, put them over your heart, and just feel what I'm saying to you. It's like, it's so powerful to be able to share something that's so simple. And it makes me tear up every single time, because now I see hope for my daughter. I see hope for my family. We're moving this way. We're doing really well. You know, I'm still practicing, but I've found a solution. I merged practices with another dentist. I'm working less. I'm working on my Juice Plus business more. And my goal is to go big with Juice Plus, to really be an influence on as many people as I can. And I really want to shine that light on other people, so that we as moms especially can get out of our head and into our heart and spend more time with our kids. Ultimately, it's about spending more time with your kids. I'll never get that time back. So for you moms out there listening to me, it's really important that you know this, that there are choices for you, and you don't have to get stuck in your head and stuck in the box. So get out of your head, get out of the box. Thank you.
Lauren, you're muted. Can't hear you, Lauren.
I muted myself. I just say, I think all of you can hear her passion. And for this call is story time. For you to hear why all of us entrepreneurs are on this mission, to be able to say yes to more things, yes to more time, yes, to if our kids need things, yes, so that we're not trading our time for dollars. Even someone who has an amazing, career, you would look and go, oh, she's doing just fine. She's found something that, that she's ready to share even more. So she's been able to integrate the both, and I can't wait to work more with you. So I love you, Suzanne.
Love you.
I'm going to go ahead and go over to Sarah over in the UK. Or are you in Spain? You're in Spain.
Yeah, I'm in Mallorca right now.
So go ahead and pass it over to Sarah.
Great. Well, it's hard to follow someone like Suzanne, but just listening to her ignites my passion even more, and I'm really excited too. I'm very privileged to get the chance to share with you this evening. So I'm Sarah. I've got 4 children. They range, I've got a 21-year-old and they go down to 4 years old. And what I want to share with you just in a few moments tonight is why I feel that I couldn't be in a better place with this opportunity to create the life of my dreams and inspire my children to do the same. And the cherry on the cake for me is that in doing that for myself and them, I can empower and inspire just so many other people, men and women, but so many mothers to see that that is a possibility for them too. So there's so much I could say about this product. I'm going to tell you my story about why I'm in this business. The product in 1 second, I can't imagine a day in my life, as long as I have control over the people I love in any shape or form, that I wouldn't try everything to get them to stay on this product forever. And my immediate family certainly will, but that's another story. So what I want to share with you is why I feel so incredibly confident about this opportunity. And right now I'm here in Palma. I quite literally am living the life that's on my vision board, but that is another story. What I want to go back to is when my eldest child was born, who's 21 now. My life was absolutely not what was on my vision board. And I was 18 when he was born. Unfortunately, I had left my parents quite a few years before that. And when I had him, I should have obviously been at school. I should have been preparing for my career ahead. I actually was on benefits and I was totally by myself, financially unsupported. And I needed a plan. And I'd always been an A-grade student, but sometimes the life of your parents or the life that people you rely on has a massive negative effect on what's going on. And
Odd, I have everybody muted, so let's try it again. Keep going, Sarah.
No, and what I'd heard growing up, because I'd been relatively smart at school, was, well, if you want to make money, you should be a doctor or a lawyer. And I thought, oh God, I've got this baby. I need to make a plan. I'll be a lawyer. And it literally was one of those decisions. I need to make some money. I need to look after this child. I'll be a lawyer. But of course, he was born when I should have been doing my exams. So I didn't have any exams and I needed those exams to go to university. So I was really lucky. I met a woman, a mother, who ran a class, she ran a college, and she told me that if the child was asleep, I could go in and I could study. But if he woke up, I had to go. So he was born in June. In September, I was in the classroom. He was in the back corner. And so long as he slept, I was allowed to study for those exams. And I did those exams. I went to university, and probably choosing the hard road, I chose corporate finance, and I went banging on the doors of all the leading law firms, either to be laughed out the door, or after a while, a few started saying, "Are you for real? Okay." And when I left university, I was sponsored by a big firm. What was really interesting is in my journey, I really learned the time for money thing. So in those years I was studying with him, I had to take very, very low paid jobs that I could take him along with. So that meant cleaning people's houses or looking after old people. So huge flexibility, and I could take that baby, but being paid minimum wage. Fast forward a few years, actually more than a couple of years, when I left with my degrees and my sponsorship into big law firms, I was suddenly earning more money than my parents earned. But I traded all my time for money. So yeah, I totally achieved that goal. I was the lawyer paying for a mortgage and a private school and all those things I wanted for that child, only I had no relationship in life with that child. What was really interesting for me too is that whilst I liked the intellectual challenge of it, after a while I started thinking, you know what, I'm not actually contributing very much to anything greater than myself, or I don't even know that I'm making that much difference to these clients that I'm here 20 hours in the office serving instead of being with my child. So I did what many people did, and I thought, I'll set up my own business, I'll set up my own practice. So I did that thinking, I'll be in control now. I will run the show. I will give my clients real value, but it'll be on my time and I'll spend time with my child. Of course, that was super lovely, but very, very naive because I was the business. So the business, in effect, actually totally owned me. So the money went up again, but of course I served the clients more and more. I wasn't really making any impact on their lives. I was making a lot of people wealthier, getting the transactions through, but again, I wasn't seeing my child. So the crossroads for me came when at some point I decided I was going to have another family. And, that hadn't always been on the horizon, but I decided that was the way. And as with many challenges in life, when you've had to go through things and learned, I didn't see it as a mistake that I wasn't with that first child, but if I had an opportunity again, was I going to do the same? But I put everything in this business, that was my professional background. So what to do? And I think sometimes when from your heart, and I get you, Suzanne, we need to get out of our heads and into our hearts, we ask that question. I don't want to just be a mom. I want to do something great. It's my birthright to do something great. What do? The universe delivered it in this opportunity. And this opportunity is quite literally transformed the way that I see how I can grow, I can inspire my children, and I can inspire others to do the same. So what this business is for me is an absolutely better way. And what do I mean by this? The first thing is that I can now get to spend time with my children as I choose to. And I'm the first person to put my hand up in the air and say, I don't want to be with my children 24/7. I'm actually not that kind of woman. But I don't not want to be with my kids 24/7. I don't want somebody else making that decision for me. I can choose who I work with and where I work from. So with a business like this, Laura mentioned us being global. We're in 26 countries and we are growing all the time. I can connect with other inspired people anywhere in the world. And I can use those connections and that network to empower them and also to empower myself and the business that I want to run. Like I mentioned last week when we talked about this, for the first, 6 to 8 months, I got this business straight away when I saw the opportunity, but I'd become a lawyer. I used to live in my heart and then I'd gone totally into my head. So I wanted everyone in the world to have this product, but I didn't want them to know I was in network marketing. I didn't tell them. I shared this product with everyone, but don't ask me about the business. I don't want to talk to you about it. So I've used this time to educate myself. And I needed to come out of that fear zone. I say to everyone now, you give me the queen, you give me the politicians, you give me the rock stars, you give me any influencer, I would share this with them because alone, I can get the product customers. But sharing it with as many people as I can literally have an impact on the lives of thousands and thousands of people. You are never going to take my work ethic away from me. I don't want you to, and I want my kids to see it in me because I want to show them that they can develop it and they can use it in their own way. But the amazing thing is here, if you're going to work at something, work at something that not only gives you everything you need, but helps you contribute to something so much greater than yourself. Because that's when life is really magic, and that's when your life really will never ever be the same again. So I hope I've imparted a bit of my passion. I couldn't be more grateful for this opportunity and the chance to share this with so many wonderful people. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So you've heard from a dentist, you've heard from a lawyer, and we're about to bring up Melanie Brandt. Melanie is our newest national marketing director. She's over in Australia. She's dropping her, she's juggling what we all juggle in the morning, right? So I'm going to bring up Melanie to speak with you and wrap this up for you guys.
Hello, thank you for having me. So I just really want to share with you my journey so far with Juice Plus and the Juice Plus company. So I've been with the company now for 14 months. It's been an absolute whirlwind. But the reason that I joined this business, and you know, you're going to have to bear with me because it's been a really emotional roller coaster for us. When we joined Juice Plus, my partner worked on the mines, and he was gone for 4 weeks at a time, and he was only home for a week. I've got 2 small young children, and what really took its toll on me was watching my children hug the phone to hug their daddy. And, you know, I'd had enough. I'd had enough of watching this happen. So, you know, when it came to trading time for dollars, we were definitely massive culprits of this. So I needed to do something, and I needed to help out in any way I could to get him home. So I jumped into the business, had no idea what I was doing, but I knew lots of people that struggled with their health or their wealth. And, you know, this is how our journey really started. I said to my partner, look, give me 12 months in this business and, you know, we'll talk about you coming home. And 6 months in, his feet landed firmly on the ground. And since that day, you know, we've been back to a normal family again. Which is, you know, I think something that we really took for granted before. So it's been an amazing roller coaster for us. I've been able to not only bring him home from the mines, but send our children to the best school. You know, I've been able to smash my own goals and reignite my own fire that I'd lost from, you know, becoming a mum. It's not all about us anymore. It's about our little ones. So I'd really lost myself in that journey as well. And this business has allowed me to shine. It's allowed me to design my life around my children. And now, you know, to be able to say to my partner, let's talk about retiring you so that you can start to spend even more time with our girls, you know, to make up for those years that he missed out. So, you know, I'm so grateful for what this business has done for us, but so excited for what the future has to bring as well. The international travel, being able to put my kids on a plane and take them to Disneyland next year, things that we could have never done before. So saying yes to this business was honestly the best decision that I've ever made, not only for myself and my personal growth, but for my family as well. So we're excited for what's to come. Oh, you're muted, Lauren.
I guess I don't want my dog to talk in the background. Melanie, I remember meeting you in Nashville last year, and I think the biggest thing for you, and I think for the other ladies on the line and anybody that knows a mom, is that you really made your kids your reason and not an excuse. I think it's so many times, you know, we can, you know, go, oh, well, I don't have time because my kids have to do this and that. What would you say to those people that say, well, I can't because of my kids, or this, or I'm too busy, or I've got this? I mean, you really laser focused. I mean, I remember looking at Jess going, oh, this is it, you know, and I mean, you're not even 30 years old yet. Is that correct? I mean, how wonderful is it? She's talking about retiring her husband and she's not even 30 years old yet. You know, I mean, there's no reason for us to wait till we're 40 or 50 to retire. You know, you're going to be retired. I'm, you know, retiring your husband by the time he's 30 years old. So what would you share with everyone?
I think the biggest thing for me was I never wanted to look at my children in 5 or 10 years' time and say to them, you know, Mummy had this amazing opportunity that I could have changed your life, but I couldn't be bothered. You know, I had to grab this with both hands and run with it, because if not this, then what? You know, there was no other way that I could create financial freedom. There's no other way that I could take the pressure off. There was no other way that I could get my hubby home without having to trade my time and, you know, not see my children. So I want to be able to look at them. You know, I put a post up the other day on Facebook, and it was so simple but so powerful. And it was just a picture of me with my girls. And it just said, Mummy's going to make you so proud. You know, I want to be that mum.
I think you already are that mom. I think you're doing that. I mean, to be able to go to our top position, national marketing director, you know, in less than, 14 months is pretty extraordinary. And that's focus and that's passion. And we know that anything, how many of you would like to make an extra $500 a month? Raise your hand if you would. How about an extra $1,000 a month? Let's just keep going. How about an extra $5,000 a month? Keep it going. How many of you an extra $10,000 a month? How about an extra $20,000 a month? How about an extra 30, 40? Why stop there? Go on up. I can tell you it feels nice to make that kind of money, an extra that a month. I mean, I just got back from being able to say yes. I took my son and I asked what he wanted to do for his 16th birthday, and he said he wanted to take his best friend to Fiji, and I, bought my son, his best friend. I paid for all of their expenses, and guess what? I'm able to pay it off. I didn't have to put it on a credit card. I put it on a credit card, but to be able to pay cash, that's what it's about. Sorry, that's why I put myself on mute, my dogs. But we're able to do this anywhere, and we're here to support you. Anybody who knows a mom that is looking for a great community, is looking for an amazing opportunity, and an amazing mission to share. So I'm going to get off right now. I hope you guys are enjoying these calls. Every week we'll be having moms from around the world: Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Spain, United States, Canada. We've got them all, Israel. So look forward. Please share this with everyone, and I'll be posting the call right now. Thanks, guys. Look forward to sharing this with you. Bye. Thank you, everyone.